So let's start with circles. First up, go to Desmos. If you haven't seen it before, Desmos is a really good graphics calculator that you can run online. You can just bookmark the calculator link if you want to avoid going to the front page and clicking on Graphing Calculator. Now, I'm going to type the function for a circle. Actually, it's not a function, it's a relation. But that's really something for you to worry about when you get to maths methods next year. So, to draw a circle is x squared, can't type, plus y squared equals r squared. That'll give me a slider for the radius. Now, when I typed that, to get the squared, you can just type Shift 6 to get the little up arrow caret symbol. When it does it, it moves into the superscript. And when you finish typing the number for the superscript, you can just press the plus and the equals, and Desmos will automatically come back to the main section for those. You kind of try things on Desmos and if it doesn't do what you want, you can adjust it. There is a full keyboard here if you want to start playing with exactly what things look like. But most of the time I just type and play around. So, this is a circle. I can change the radius like so. I set my radius to 4, then the radius of my circle drawn is 4. Notice the function has r squared. So if I'm writing this as a number, it would be x squared plus y squared equals 16, not 4. It's important to remember. But why does this work? Why does x squared plus y squared equal r squared give me a circle? Well, let me ask you a different question. How do I define a circle? Think about that for a minute. How do you define the circle? Because one way to define it is to describe it as the locus of the points. That's a lot of fancy language, you'll get used to it. The locus of the points that are at a fixed distance from the origin. So this is all the points, everywhere around there is all the points that are exactly 4 away from the origin. But how do I describe any point on this plane? Well, I describe it with an x and a y coordinate. Now, let me just draw on here. So, if I draw a line from the origin out to any point out there, let me also draw a right angle to match. Now, this is x and this is y and that's r. But this is a right angle triangle. So x squared plus y squared must equal r squared. That's Pythagoras. So anywhere on this circle where I draw that line up here, well, if I make a right angle triangle out of that, then this is the x, might be negative, that doesn't matter, x squared plus y squared is r squared. I can draw it down here. Doesn't matter. I'm going to get x squared plus y squared equals r squared. So everywhere on this circle, the x coordinate squared plus the y coordinate squared equals the square of my fixed radius. So that's how this function defines a circle of radius r. Now, if you have a graphics calculator, go back one step. If you don't currently have a graphics calculator, but you are studying the Specialist Maths Taster course, then you are allowed to come and ask me to borrow a graphics calculator, and I will lend you one for the duration of this course. Now, if you have your graphics calculator, you can actually sketch it on there as well. You can go to the Scratchpad graph, or you can make a new document and add a graphics page. Let's use the Scratchpad. By default it asks for a function, but a circle is not a function. You can either just press backspace and get a menu, or if that doesn't work you can go to menu and then you can ask for a different kind of graph. I want a relation. And then it lets me type x squared plus y squared equals, now I can't put r squared in very easily here. It is possible you can put sliders and things in, but for now let's just put a fixed one, the one we had before, of radius 4. And there is my circle. So your graphics calculator can also draw this. But if you have an older graphics calculator that can't directly plot a relation, then you'll have to turn this equation into a function saying y equals. But how do I rearrange this for y equals? Well, we had x squared plus y squared equals 16. If I want to rearrange for y, I better start with y squared. That's 16 minus x squared. But then y has to be a square root of 16 minus, oops, it didn't work, minus x squared. Sometimes words, equation editor doesn't quite do what I want. But this isn't quite right. If you plot this, it's the square root, it's the opposite of square. If you plot this, you'll only get half a circle. And the reason is the negative will also square to the same value. So you have to plot 2 halves to get a circle if you can only plot a proper function y equals something. If you plot y equals the square root and then y equals negative the square root, then you will get a full circle in 2 halves. So let me summarise. The Cartesian equation of a circle with centre at the origin and radius r is x squared plus y squared equals r squared. Don't forget to square the radius. Where does this function come from? It comes from Pythagoras' theorem. X squared plus y squared equals r squared for any right-angled triangle that connects to a point on this circle.